It's tea time. Grab your drinks, sit down, and let's have a little chat. If this is your first time here, well, hello and welcome. My name is Jennifer from Vintage Vanity, and I'm super excited that you and everybody are here today because we are doing a long-awaited tea time chat. Yeah, it has been a hot minute since we have done one of these, and quite frankly, this is not the video I intended to go up this week. I wanted to have my step-by-step by all the steps tutorial for sewing up a gathered skirt, and it's just taking longer to do, and I want to make sure that I don't skip any steps, and I'm super excited to get that out to you guys. So I went on Instagram and I asked you guys what you would want to see, and you guys warmed my heart that you guys wanted a tea time, because we used to do these every month and I love doing them, but then I think I got to a point where I was like, I think people don't want to hear me talk, which is a weird thing because, you know, but I love doing these so much because we really get to sit down and chat, and I know it's kind of a delayed conversation because I then have to read your comments later, but I really love getting to talk to you guys about what is going on in my life and getting to hear what's going on in your life as well. And I don't know, I'm really excited for 2022. So with that, what we always do is we pour up a glass of whatever liquid we like to drink. I set the timer on my phone for 10 minutes to chat. And then I inevitably will go over that 10 minutes, because I will tell you this, it is so hard for me to start these videos. I will sit here saying, hello, my name is, for a good 10 to 15 minutes before I get it right, because it just always feels so awkward. But then, like, I set this timer and then it just gets going and I can't fit it all in the 10 minutes. So there we go. So that's just my reminder to not talk for an excessively long amount of time. So there we go. 10 minutes on the clock. Let's chat. Okay, so there are a couple things that I wanted to talk to you guys about today. And the first of which is going to actually make me get up off my chair. Is it? No. I'm going to put video in of the material. So if you guys watched the top 10 live stream of the Betty White outfits, well, I will link that on the screen if you haven't. But one, I think it was my top one, or it was like, no, it was my number 2 outfit. I talked about the fact that I wanted to recreate it, and I found the perfect material. Look at, okay, here's the picture. Look at the material I found. My mind is blown. I feel like it is like the closest I could get to a duplicate, and I am in love with it. I got it from Mood Fabrics, and they only had, I think, 9 yards left, and I think about like 7 yards. So I will place a link in the description to this fabric, but I'm pretty sure it's sold out now. But the fabric wasn't the cheapest fabric I have bought, but I really want this skirt to be more than a circle skirt. I want it to be like a circle skirt and a half. So I really want a lot of volume and fullness. But here's the thing. If you look at the picture, you'll notice that Betty's, the overlay, the embroidered overlay is a pale, the palest of pale pinks. And I don't think this is a colorized photo. Let me know what you guys think. I then put this fabric on top of a pink fabric because I am going to do like a couple layers of like chiffon underneath to give it like that soft and dreamy vibe. I'm so excited about this, but I'm really nervous about dyeing this fabric because I was really hoping once I laid this fabric on top of pink that it would read more pink. And it doesn't. It just reads white on top of pink, which is definitely not the look that I'm going for. Which brings me to the topic that I need your help with. I have to dye it. Oh, I've never dyed fabric before. The only thing I've used, like, I have rip dye here at the house and I have some pink. The only time I have ever used it for anything was to dye those miniature brush trees. So I'm really nervous about this. So here's my thought process, is that I am going to test it, obviously, but do I dye all the fabric at once? Because if I don't, how do I ensure that each of the fabric pieces are going to be the same exact shade of pink? I don't know. So if you have any experience with dyeing fabric, especially with using RIT, or if you would suggest something else, please leave it in the comment section below. I'm going to be running some tests next weekend. My plan is to vlog the process of making this dress, but I am on kind of a tight deadline, so I'm probably not going to do like a super technical version, and more focus on like sourcing the fabrics and the pattern and dyeing and kind of like the process of building it instead of it being a step-by-step. So let me know. Really need some help on that. So on that same vein, this is less a tea time chat and more of a, oh my God, help me solve my problems. Now, my second dilemma is this. I went to Disney World with two of my friends this month. It's still March. Okay, yeah. End of February into March. And oh my God, I had the most amazing time. It was wonderful. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. But I created a dress to go. Why are words all of a sudden hard? I don't know. I made a dress using the Charm Rita pattern, which is a top, and I just turned that into a dress. Mistakes were made in the making of the dress. I made the torso a little bit too long than what I normally like to wear, but I think it works, so I think I'm okay with that. And I found this amazing daisy print mesh material, and I fell in love with it, and I was like, ooh, this would make a really fun like Rapunzel Disney bound. And then later I was like, Rapunzel doesn't wear yellow, because it was all yellow that I did for it, because I don't really have a lot of yellow dresses, so I was really excited to have one in my wardrobe. And then I realized, using the daisy print and the yellow fabric, I was actually Disney bounding as Rapunzel's hair. And I really liked that. So nobody knew, you know, but I knew. And that's really what's important, right? So I made this, and I will put up a picture. Number one, I really don't like the belt that I used with the dress, but it was the only thing I had. And I actually ordered a different version of a white belt, and this one came instead. Thanks, Amazon. So, and it came the day before I left, so I had no option but to use it. My original idea was to create a, like kind of a sash out of the yellow fabric to go around the waist, which I think is what I'm going to do, because I am, I think, going to bring it to Viva with me. Yay, Viva Las Vegas. Then, this is where my question comes into you. If you will take a look at the sleeves, here's my problem, is that I cannot for the life of me decide if I love or hate the sleeves of this dress. I mean, I just did like the sheer sleeves on the robe that I just made, which again, if you haven't seen that, I'll link on the screen. So I was really into that vibe, and so I was like, this is such a pretty fabric, I want to do it again. But my problem with it is the fact that with that Rita top, it like abruptly ends right here. And I can't decide, again, if I hate it or I love it. Because if you look at it from far away, I hate it. Because you can't see the sleeves, and then it looks like, you know, my dress just somehow magically stops right here. But then when I look at it up close, I'm like, oh, I really like it. So I can't decide whether I should line the sleeves. I will tell you this, I'm not taking those sleeves apart. No. I've come up, if I have to do it, I've come up with a way that I could potentially do it and just like hand sew the lining in so I don't have to redo everything, because the problem as well is that mesh fabric is so delicate that if I start seam ripping it, I'm really afraid that I'm going to rip it, and then that will be problems. So let me know, do I leave the sleeves like they are, or do I line them with yellow? Please and thank you. Beautiful here. I got all the doors open. Spring definitely feels like it has sprung, and I'm so excited for it. I don't know, I've been missing the sun like crazy, and it's been great to like sit outside and just read a book. Oh. So Disney World. I had such an amazing time. It has been a really long time since I've been to Disney World. I've been to Disneyland quite a few times with JL, and so I was really excited to go to Disney World and get to go to Epcot and Hollywood Studios. And the last time I was at Disney, they hadn't opened Rise of the Resistance at Hollywood Studios yet. So I was super... See what I mean? Timer already. We're just gonna repeat that timer. So I know there's just too much to fit in 10 minutes. It go by so fast. All right, so went to Disney World, had an amazing time. The food, oh, let me tell you, the food was great, except for at Epcot. Being a vegetarian, unless you're at a sit-down restaurant, very hard to find a lot of good vegetarian choices at Epcot. But I will say, the crepes in France, so good. So yummy. Here's the thing, is I really haven't shared any of my photos from Disney because I'm kind of mad at Disney right now. I guess I'm just, yeah, so I don't know. You know, I feel like the older we get, sometimes we are often disappointed by the people we look up to a lot in life. You know, you start out, I mean, I think a really, really good, for me, a really good example of that is Joss Whedon. Absolutely loved him and loved everything he did. Firefly, Buffy, Dollhouse, I mean, you name it, Joss Whedon touched it. I loved his writing. I loved how he put women forward in stories a lot. I was just so excited. And then to find out that he's just a massive a-hole and treats women horribly, it was just, I know. Even the dogs in the neighborhood are upset about it. So, you know, it becomes one of those things of like having to sit down and, you know, separate the art from the artist and, you know, decide what direction you're going to go in. Which, you know, is difficult. Like and again, I'm a huge fan of like the Cthulhu mythos. And H.P. Lovecraft is one of the worst human beings that ever existed in the world. So it's like, you know, you grow up and you learn and you grow and you get more data and more information and you learn things, and so many times they can turn out in some of those cases to be super disappointing. So it's like, you know, for the people that are still alive today, there is always potential for change, you know. People can learn, they can grow, they can start out and be assholes and turn out to be better people. There is always the hope for that, and our voices can be used to hopefully make that change happen. But, so I guess it's just a long way of saying I don't really know. I'd love to post the pictures from Disney, but, you know, what do I do? I don't know. Do I post them? Do I just wait to post them? I don't know. And quite honestly, you guys, I didn't really take a lot of pictures or video or do any of that. I have spent the past year really trying to become comfortable in my skin again. And I feel like a lot of us, like with everything that's been going on the past couple of years, like, dude, it's been rough on all of us. And, you know, we have self-care techniques that we have used to care for ourselves through hard times. We've had, you know, self-soothing techniques to help us through the really rough areas. But, you know, sometimes those things aren't enough, or they just stop working. And sometimes you don't realize that it's not working. You know, you keep going thinking, well, this has worked in the past, so it means that there'll be an end to this. And then, like, the days tick by and the months tick by, and you're like, it's still, it's still not working. I'm still not there. And that was the case for me. Is I kept, like, pushing myself and, you know, trying to get back into the routine that I love, trying to get back to where I was before by using all the same techniques, and just nothing was working. And I restarted therapy, which has been so insanely helpful with helping me get back on track with the things that I love, which includes YouTube and sewing, and, you know, how to motivate myself on the days that I don't feel motivated, and how to deal with, like, anxiety. And I just really lucked out in getting a really good therapist. So I mean, that's another thing. Like, if you're in therapy and it's not working and you don't like it and you don't vibe with your therapist, there's a million other out there. Try somebody new, because it's not everybody is the right fit. So I think sometimes it's really important to find the one that works for you. So yeah, so that's kind of like, so when I went to Disney, I started doing all the old things where I was like, literally in my mind, I'm like, I am going to build a whole new wardrobe before I go to Disney, and I only have 2 weeks, because it was a very we decided like a month before that we were gonna go. It was like a last minute, like, you know, let's get together. And, you know, yeah, so I'm like, why did I put that pressure on myself? So I decided I was going to make one new thing, and that was going to be it, and then I would take the pressure off myself. So, and I'm doing that with social media as well. So what I've decided to do is going to focus on the thing that matters the most to me right now, and not stress about trying to do all the social media, because you're talking YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. There's so much, and to do everything well, it's really, really hard, and you have to have a system in place. And I feel like I just can't get my ducks. My ducks don't want to line up. They don't want to be in a row. So I decided I'm going to focus on YouTube, because it is the thing that I connect with the most, that brings me the most joy, and I feel like it's the way that I communicate with you guys the most, and share, like, my love of doing things, you know. So not that I'm not going to be posting on the other, it's just going to be really inconsistent. So I do have, like, reels and stuff that I want to do, but, you know, it just sucks, because Instagram doesn't want you to do anything but videos right now, so it's not really liking anybody who posts photos. And quite frankly, I'm kind of annoyed about it, because one of the things that I love was scrolling through Instagram, looking at photos, and being able to, like, interact and see people's looks and fashions and all of that. And now it's just like, I feel like I'm just seeing the same things everywhere, and I don't know. I'm just not real happy about it. Quite frankly, I you know, I don't always want to, I'm not always in a place where I want, you know, music to be playing, and not everybody does, like, subtitles, and you can't always read them, and it's just a thing. I mean, I guess I'm getting old, but I am old. I don't care. Get off my lawn. But that's kind of how I feel. So right now I'm going to be really inconsistent on the other things, while I strive for consistency here on YouTube. Once I'm consistent and I'm doing my thing on YouTube on a regular weekly upload, then I'll start to look at getting back on, like, a regular consistent upload schedule for Instagram. Because, you know, it's all stuff I'm putting on myself. because it's things I love to do and I want to do all these things, but it's like finding the time and finding the energy to do it. And I don't, and I just, yeah, so that's kind of where we're going with that. And I realized that I do the same thing like with Viva Las Vegas coming up. If you guys aren't familiar, I know I kind of already mentioned it, but Viva is, I would say, the biggest rockabilly event that happens, at least here in the United States. And there are bands from all around the world that come. There's just a like 4-day music festival, and then everybody looks amazing, and there's pool parties, and it's just one of my favorite things in the world. And what's funny is right before the pandemic started, I was actually at my last Viva getting a little burnt out on it. Like, it was just starting to feel like every year we were doing the same thing and blah, blah, blah. Oh, there's my timer. So I am going to start wrapping it up. Otherwise, this will be exceptionally long. But it was starting to feel like it was just rinse and repeat every year. And now, having not gone for 2 years, I'm like, I cannot wait. I'm ready for the smells and the sounds and the people and just I'm so excited. But I do the same thing where I'm like, I am going to make this entirely new wardrobe for Viva. And then I get mad at myself that I haven't been sewing a new wardrobe for Viva for the last year. You know, like, oh, you've had all this time. Well, it's because I'm always sewing something for some other reason. So it's like, no, don't be so hard on yourself that you haven't sewn an entire wardrobe. You've got a lot going on. So this year, the Betty White dress is my main priority. And then I'm going to try to sew up the Hostess set from Charm Patterns, as well as fixing the Daisy dress. And then probably going to make a couple skirts. So the skirt that I'm making for the gathered skirt tutorial, I am wearing to Viva as well. So I am going to, hold on to your hats for this one, folks. I'm going to repeat outfits. Because you know what? I want to be excited. I want to be, like, leading up to Viva, I just want to be on full excitement mode and not full stress mode. Right? That's the thing, is I got so wrapped up in, like, wanting to do all these things because, you know, it's fun. It's fun for me to make these new outfits and plan these new things, but at the same time, trying to do it in the time period I was trying to do, it's just stressful. So I was just adding unnecessary stress into my life where I wasn't getting that full, like, ooh, Viva, ooh, so excited. You know, I wouldn't, even when I was driving to the airport, I wouldn't get it. It wouldn't be until I, like, got off the plane in Vegas that I was like, ooh, Viva. So this year I'm looking forward to repeating some outfits, but also being, like, completely relaxed into vacation mode. I'm so excited. So let me know if you're going to be at Viva in the comment section below. In past years, I have done a meetup. Usually on Fridays, we meet at the piano bar, and we have an hour where we just, you know, talk and mingle and all that kind of stuff, because I really like to see you guys and see you in person. And I've been told I really give good hugs. Either they're good or they're super creepy and awkward. So whatever kind of hug you would like, I will be giving them out at Viva. So let me know in the comment section below if you're going to be attending. And also just let me know what's been going on in your lives as well. I love hearing from you guys. And if you liked today's video, be sure and give it a thumbs up. It really does help with the algorithm. And of course, before I let you go, a huge subscriber shout out to Frosting. Thank you so much for watching, liking, and commenting on my videos, and being a part of our cozy little online community. Now, of course, if you're going to miss the space between uploads, be sure and follow me on all the social media as a Vintage Vanity. If you'd like to keep watching my videos, you will see a video right there that you can click on and continue watching. If you always want to be notified when videos are posted, go ahead and click on that subscribe button. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you soon. Bye.